Hello everybody, can you hear me? How do I sound? How is the audio? We're gonna get going in just a second. Sorry I'm taking so long. I'm very excited about today's stream though. I've got a big surprise for you and I think you're gonna like it. Anyhow, I'll see you in just a second, but please let me know how everything sounds. Is the music too loud? Am I too quiet? Am I too loud? Pretty much all that jazz. And I'll be on in just a moment. All right, see you soon. All right, loud music has been turned down. Thank you for the note, Coop. Hi, everybody. This is just another test of the audio system. Also, on today's live stream, I could really use some help by the chat in general. I'm looking for help, like, finding notable points in today's video that might be good for clips or for, like, a long-form edit. I just realized that, like, that your help would be extremely helpful. I'm not exactly sure how to do that right now. I'm thinking kind of like we make a Google Doc or something, and then in that Google Doc, like, everybody can put in like a little time code of like, oh, at this time, this is a cute moment or something like that, or I don't know. Maybe that's just silly, but I just could really use some help with that, and I thought, oh, well, who better to help with that than the live stream? Yeah, if you're open to it, that would be really cool. But if not, obviously, just enjoy the stream. I think it's going to be a really fun one. We got a lot of fun things to talk about. I kind of like have so much fun stuff to talk about that I don't know where to start. So it might be a little bit of a stream, but I love those ones personally. I think they're really fun. Anyhow, you can tell I'm very excited to share with you what we're about to share. So I'll be on in just a second. All right, that's enough dilly-dallying. Let's rock and roll. Hey, check this out. I also changed like the face cam and stuff. So I made just very subtle updates. Hopefully they're good. Let's start with the face cam though. Hi. Hello. Can you hear me? Can you see me? I hope so. Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday. I'm sorry, it's been a couple of weeks, I guess. Oh, 1 second. I am. Oh my gosh. I don't even know where that's coming from. I'm under attack by a bunch of audio.
1 second. 1 second.
Where is that coming from?
I am. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. That's coming from. I don't even know where that's coming from.
I'm under attack by a bunch of audio. Where is that coming from? Where is that coming from? I figured it out, I think. All right, back to it. I think I figured out what was wrong. Let's hope. Hi, again. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope you're having a great day. I have got a crazy cool stream for you. There's so much cool stuff that's happened in the past few weeks. I'm sorry it's been a few weeks. We still have a puppet to finish and a whole bunch of other stuff going on. But before we get to that, I have got a really cool thing that came in the mail today. Also, check out this cool camera. Watch this. I finally switched the cameras in the right way, so now this camera can follow me around the room, and you can see my entire messy office. Well, I'm not going to go much further than that because I don't want to show you how messy this office is, and it's very messy. But it's still pretty cool. Now I can get close to the camera, too, and it's like, hey. Anyhow, I'm just excited. I'm excited. Let me show you what came to us today. Actually, this was on, I think it came on Monday or Sunday, and then so I did. You know what? Let me just stop teasing it. Look what's here. Oh! Hey! I'm up here. Yeah, good camera. Look how cool the book is here! Oh my gosh. So anyhow, let's switch to the hand cam and let's talk about all the things that we're going to be doing today. I'm very excited. Look at that. Oh my gosh, our book is here, you guys. Now this is obviously my early draft sample edition thingy. It's not like really a sample. This is the final version of the book that people will be getting if they pre-order it. But I just get an early one. It comes out September 22nd, by the way, for everybody out there. I've been waiting forever for this. Forever! So I'm really, 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 really excited to share it and talk about it today. But we're going to be talking about a lot more than that. We're going to be looking at this new book, looking at all the stuff in it to a degree. I'm not going to spoil too much for you because there is spoilers. Actually, spoilers. There's a narrative in this book and stories and stuff. And so I don't want to spoil too much. I definitely don't want to spoil some new cool patterns. So we're going to do our best to be careful about that. But then in addition to that, we also have the announcement of Battle Goomis. So we're going to be talking a little bit about Battle Goomis, our new card game that you can crochet. Look at some of these cards. We're going to look at cards today, talk a little bit about how the game works, how to play it, and then hopefully we have enough time to crochet one of the Goomis in this deck right here. I have another side deck here. So these are all of the characters in the start of the game. But these are the ones I don't really want to show you because these are like kind of secrets and surprises. So we're only going to be looking at these cards today, but that's no problem. That's no big deal. I'm just really excited to talk to you guys and hang out. It's been a second too. How are you? How has your week been? If you're in America, how was your 4th of July? Hope you had a great 4th of July. And yeah, thanks for being here, guys. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to talk about the book. We're going to talk about Battle Goomis a bit. I'm going to answer all the questions in the world. So if you have any questions for me, the chat is where to do it. We are currently watching on both vertical and horizontal live streams. If you're watching it in the vertical live stream, I suggest switching to the horizontal live stream if you want to, just because I'm going to be checking the chat a little bit more there just because it's a little easier for me to look at the chat for that. But I'll be looking at both, so feel free to ask questions in either one. And feel free to also let me know if things are not in camera in the right way or if the sound's a little weird, whatever. Please, I can only do so much by myself, so I really need help from the live stream. So please feel free to ask questions and give feedback during the live streams. And that goes for not only this live stream, but pretty much any time I'm doing anything. I'm very open to feedback and constructive criticism. I don't want hate, though. So please, no hate in the chat, which I'm not worried about. You guys are great. Oh, I just realized I'm on double mic. Let's fix that. There we go. Hopefully that wasn't too annoying. Okay, guys. Well, let's start today's stream by talking about all the things that you can do to support this channel if you want to. Just get that out of the way. Talk about all the things that are coming out soon. And then let's look at this book. Look at some of the patterns here. Just a real quick preview. Ready? We'll just open to a random page. Oh, it's the middle of a big pattern. There we go. It's so cool. Okay, anyhow, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start by talking about how you can support this channel if you like what's happening here. So if you like what's going on, you think this channel is pretty cool. I love crochet alongs. I love board games and card games. I love just weird, quirky, cute things and a cool dude that likes to crochet on camera. Well, thank you so much. That's really cool of you that you like that. If you want to support this channel is completely supported by its audience and its club. So everybody that's here, it's all thanks to you, really. Like that, the only way this channel happens is because of your support and your help. So if you'd like to support, there's a bunch of different ways to do so. Let's start with the free, easy, cheap ways. If you want to support and you don't want to provide a moolah, no worries. I totally understand and I appreciate you being here regardless. Please chat with me. Talk to me in the chat. Like this video down below if you haven't already. Please go like this video. Like. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Hit the bell icon so you get notified when there's new videos coming out. And share this with someone. Share Crocheted Goomis with someone that you think might like it. I'm telling you, this book is awesome. Not only is it great for crocheters, but it's great for anybody that just likes weird stuff. Especially when it comes to Battle Goomis, the card game that comes with it. This is definitely, you do not need to be a crocheter to like this game. Anybody that likes any kind of games in general, whether that's board games or card games or trading card games, this game is really cool and we're going to talk a lot about that today. So if you like what's happening here and you want to support in a free way, those are some great ways to do it. If you want to support monetarily, well, thank you. That's very cool. You rock. Thank you for even considering supporting monetarily. There's a bunch of ways you can support monetarily, though. The first easy, best way probably is with the Club Crochet membership. Members get early access to future patterns. They get access to the library of tutorials. All the patterns from this book are going to be available for members as well. A lot of them already are available for Club Crochet members. So if you want to get a membership, it starts at only $5 a month, $5.99 a month. You can cancel it at any time. You can get a free trial, see if it's something you're interested in, and I think it's a really, honestly, I think it's a really great service in general, but it's also a really great way to support this channel. And speaking of a really great service in general, you also get a discount if you support with a membership. So if you get a membership, even if you get a free trial, here's a little hack. Get a free trial from my website, and then if you want to pre-order this book, get a free trial, then pre-order this book. You'll get, I think, like $4 or $5 off, something like that. It's crazy. I offer a pretty steep discount for anybody that has a membership that helps out. And then you can cancel your free trial. It's a really quick, easy way to get a bunch of money off of this book, which would be really cool. Also, any purchases of this book, that would be super helpful if you want to pre-order this book. Speaking of, let's talk about pre-orders. We had a few pre-orders from the last live stream, not very many, but what we're doing is a very special thing where anybody who pre-orders, we add a button to this bottle. We've already filled up one of these bottles. If this bottle gets filled up with buttons all the way to where, I mean, you can't see, like, if I can't put my hand over it like this, then we have completed the giveaway, and we're going to give away a hand crocheted Goomi that I make to someone who pre-ordered the book. And we're going to stretch this out after this one to also people that reserve the game, which we're going to talk about that in just a second. But let's look at the pre-orders first. We've got Mara and Felix and Anise have pre-ordered since our last live stream. I think I might have missed another one. Haley? Let's throw Haley in there too. I think we might have already gotten Haley, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So Haley, Mara, and Felix and Anise, thank you so much for your support. Let's add a button for each of you. We got 1, 2. We got 3, and then we're going to do this star one. So we got Haley, thanks for the support. We got Mara, thanks for the support. We got Felix, thanks for the support. And then a beautiful star. This is for Anise. Thank you for the support. If you've already pre-ordered the book and you've gotten a button in here and you're in the live stream anyhow, give a shout out now in the chat and I'll add buttons for everybody who has already pre-ordered the book. Just go ahead and shout it out and I'll just keep adding buttons to it. Okay, so that's the pre-order stuff. Let's now talk about the game stuff before we actually start looking at it. This game is coming out September 1st. We're going to launch it as a, it's going to be on BackerKit on September 1st, which is very exciting. Because we're doing it on BackerKit, they have this new feature where you can reserve your game, and if you reserve your spot, you get extra bonus content. So you can follow the project right now. It's the top link in the chat. You can also check it out by going to thegoomis.com. That's where you can find everything, both the book and the game. If you follow the game right now, it's totally free to follow it. All you need to do is go to that BackerKit page. Link, again, top of the description. And you follow it, you'll get a preview of our book. You'll get a pattern from the book. You'll get the beginner tutorial, which we'll look at in just a second, but you'll get the downloadable version of that early. So that's just kind of cool. You can also reserve a spot. Now you have to pay to reserve a spot, but if you pay to reserve a spot, you'll also get an extra bonus pattern from the book. You'll get the Bigfoot Bobby pattern, the first pattern from the book. The pages themselves, you get to see the actual book. And even cooler than that, you get a bonus promo card that is exclusive to only people that reserve this book. So it's a super exclusive card that's only for people that get reservations. And it's going to be holographic and it's really cool. I love it. I'm really, really excited about it. If you reserve today, I will also add a button to this. So let's go through the reservations right now. All the reservations, we had quite a bit of them. I'm just going to go ahead and start throwing these in here. Hold on. Reserved. Yes, I think we got like 22 reservations. Now I'm going to go through this really quick, okay? So I'm just going to start rattling them off. We got mini. Here, wait, I need bigger buttons than that. There we go. Because we're about to fill this. We're going to make it. We're going to make it today. We've got Minister Gray. Thank you for the support. We've got Catiel. You rock. We got And Holmes. You're the best. We got N.W. Wellington. What a cool name. Wow, this button is really cool too. It's like a disco ball. Thank you. Jason, you rock. We got Jack's art. Oh my gosh, we got Jack's art. You are so great. Thank you so much, Jax. Motho and P. Matey. Hold on. From Reddit. Oh, that's pretty cool. We got AJ. Wow, we're almost filled up here. Roger. Brick. MP Mouse. Hold on. We gotta get smaller buttons going on here. We got DM blah blah baby something like that. K-Tele. K-Miriam. They also, oh my gosh, they just pre-ordered the book and they reserved their spot. Thank you. Oh, you know what? I was emailing with you. I remember you. Marie made that. And Lafia and Jim. Hold on. Marie made that. And Lafia and Jim. And Beth. And Zach. Zach's one of my really good friends. You're great, Zach. Thank you. Jackson. And then the very first one was actually someone named Amanda. You rock, Amanda. You know what? Hold on. This is a bonus one for Amanda. Thank you guys for supporting. You guys rock. We are so close to capping this off. I'll go through the chat in just a moment to start adding ones in there, but I think we've done a lot of preamble and stuff. So let's get to those in just a moment. Okay. That was quite a lot, huh? I know. Sorry about that, but thanks for being here, guys. Ooh, wow. Okay, let's talk about you and me. Hold on. There we go. Let's talk about the book. Oh my gosh, guys, this book is so cool. Let's show it off. Let's talk about it. All right. There's like so much to talk about here with this book. I'm not kidding. It's first off, it's giant. It doesn't look that big, you know? It's like the perfect size book as far as like a book goes, but it is massive, so dense. Oh my gosh, look how thick that is. the page count is crazy. Look at this. 239 pages. 239 pages of book. I wrote an entire book. Not only is it 239 pages, but wait till look at this, okay? When you open this book, okay, you've probably gotten a crochet book before. When you open a crochet book, a lot of times you get a lot of open, empty space, which is nice. You know, sometimes it's nice to have that space. I was like, I want to put so much in this book that they had to not give me space. This book is so densely packed with book, it's crazy. Look at this. Look at this. If you pre-order, or if you sign up for the game, by the way, this is where you're going to start with Sig, the standard issue Goomis. And you'll see it's got like every page. It's got so much content. I made sure to make this so that just in case you pick up the book for the first time, there's all these tutorials. Every single pattern in the book has a video tutorial with it, which is freaking awesome. And look at all these photos. Look at all the photos that I did. I did photos for every single part just in case. I just really wanted to make sure that just in case someone picks this up or someone buys this as a gift for someone for their first crochet in the entire moment, then they also could learn how to crochet. It won't be too hard. Not only that, but every chapter, here, I'll go through the first part. Try to not preview too much here. I don't want to show you one of the things on this page, so I'm going to put this card over this so you can't see, because there's a pattern in there that I don't really want to share with you yet. But there are beginner patterns, easy patterns, medium patterns, and hard patterns. Hard patterns are basically like boss tutorials. Every chapter has that. So like you start up, hold on, let me get to chapter 1. Where's chapter 1? Oh, and also check out this map. Oh, wait, hold on. I know I'm bouncing all over the place, but check this out. In the start of the book right here, you can open the flap. Oh, look at that beautiful map. And it's like very Where's Waldo-y of a map. Like every character in the book is in this map. You just got to find them, which is super cool. And the flap itself is used as like so you can do this. So you can keep track of where you're at easier. And check this out, the back flap. Oh my God, the back flap is so cool. It's got the abbreviations, it's got the color abbreviations, it's got the specialty stitches. You open this up. There's my little about the author, but also check it out. There's a ruler on the side, and the ruler is really cool because it tells you how tall all the different characters should be, so that if you're making it in the right gauge, it'll be right. Also, look at that panorama mouse. Isn't that cool? Oh, it's so cool. I'm so excited. I did some buttons for pre-orders, Prisma, but I'm gonna do another thing for the pre-orders in just a moment. Let me get through the book though. And if you pre-order during this, please tell me, because that would be really cool. Okay, so let's now jump over to chapter 1 just so I can show you that. Each chapter you visit a different how do I say this? You visit a different region in the world. So in chapter 1 you're visiting the Woolly Woods, and there's this whole introduction here of like, here's what the Woolly Woods are all about. And then you jump into one of the patterns. So this is Bigfoot Bobby. He's your first pattern in the book. He's the one that if you reserve your spot, you'll get these pages as well, to just kind of like get you started in crocheting. I'm also going to be giving out other pages throughout this process as we get closer and closer to release. Every chapter starts with like a pretty substantial little story about the character, lore. Also, all over the book, there are these little notes where it just tells you stuff like behind the scenes stuff about like when I designed it, how I designed it, what they're designed after. This one specifically talks about how the design of this is kind of based on my dad, which is really cool. My dad's name is Bobby, so that's kind of fun. And then you go through the patterns of the book. Obviously, there's photos for everything. And then at the end of each pattern, there's also a quote from each character. They have a little quote that also tells you something about the world. So in this case, you find out in this one that Bobby here, Bigfoot Bobby, has some cousins that you can find in the book. So there's a few other mystery characters in the book that are Bobby's cousins. So you got to kind of find them as you go. There's also a scavenger hunt in this book. There's eggs everywhere. You got to find where the eggs are. It's very cool. Here's Walter the Frog, one of the patterns we did in a previous live stream also. It's such a cool book, guys, and it's so packed. every page is packed with that. Look at how much, look at this, guys. It is a lot of book. I'm not joking. Like, it's kind of a crazy amount. And what is so cool also is the publishers let me kind of do a lot of things from my community, my website, that to kind of add to this book. So in the beginning, you'll find a page right here. I think it's like page 3 or 4 or something. Here you go, page 7. And it'll tell you, I'm gonna cover these things so you can't see those, but it'll tell you where you can find all the video tutorials for every single pattern in the book, because there's video tutorials for everything. And what's really cool, hold on. I gotta cover this up, is you'll get a code. Every book will have a different code that lets you untangle all the patterns from the book on the website. So if you get the book, you'll also be able to untangle all the patterns and have the digital versions of all the patterns with their own PDF versions with check marks to go along with the video tutorials. It's so much. I'm seriously, it's kind of crazy what we're offering with this book. They kept trying to pull me back, and I'll tell you, here's a little behind the scenes of the writing of this book. This is only half of what I pitched. What I came to them with 100 patterns, and I was like, let's do a book of 100 patterns. Well, we were putting it all together, and it was literally this freaking thick when we did that, and they were like, we need to cut it back. We need to cut it back pretty significantly. And I was like, okay, fine. So we cut back all the way down to what we have here today. So that's really cool. Like, just to know there is so much book in this that it's kind of maybe too much, but it's kind of awesome. I'm just very, very, very excited. And then let's get to the battle Goomis of it all. In addition to all that, you get this page here, which is in the back of the book, and it talks about Battle Goomis, which is our collectible card game that we're going to talk a bunch about. And with the book, you get a printable version of Battle Goomis. So you get a version of the game that you can print from home and play right away. So you can play with all the characters that you make. You can use them in your own board game or card game, but it's kind of like a board game and a card game. But speaking of, let's talk about Battle Goomis, because I'm torn if I'm more excited about the book or the game, because both of them are so cool. I mean, obviously I'm crazy excited about the book itself, but the game, it's so cool, you guys. All right, let's talk about it a little bit. Now, heads up, showing you off this. These cards are prototypes, and you'll know the prototypes because the back of the cards, this is not what the card backs look like anymore. I changed the back of the cards a little bit. There's now an orange logo, and the colors are a little bit more blue. It looks really good. You'll know it's a prototype because at the bottom here, it tells you what version it is. Hold on. Mr. Camera. Okay, well, whatever. You can kind of see it. It says test version 0.7. I'm now at actually 0.8 or 9 I've actually done. So I don't have the newest one printed yet. I have it sent to the printers to get actual cards made, because these ones were just made with like I literally printed these out. And you know what I mean? Like they're just paper. It's just paper that I printed out at a Kinko's and then cut it out. And then I put them in these little sleeves. So these are just prototype versions, which means that a lot of things about the cards that I'm going to show you are going to change between now and the final version of the cards. 1 second, I need to turn my fan on. It's getting warm in here. There we go. So all of these cards are going to look a little bit different, and some of them will look pretty significantly different when the game comes out. Will there be a volume 2? Yes, there'll be a first edition. So everybody that gets the game on day 1 will get a first edition copy of all the cards. Eventually, we'll come out with a second edition of cards, third edition of cards. Very, very much like Pokemon cards. We're going to have different versions of each card. In addition to that, every single card has other versions of the card. But you know what? Let's look at a card, and we'll talk kind of about what's on the card and what's coming with each character. So first thing that you're going to look at. Let's get this a little closer. Can you see that? I think you can, right? Does that look any... I'm just hoping that the shine isn't too bad. But I guess we'll see. Hold on. Here, I think I can open this a little bit bigger and see. Yeah, I think that looks okay. Yeah. Okay, you can see, you can basically read that, right? Okay, so each card has a lot of information here that you're going to see. The first thing that you're going to... We'll go from top to bottom here. So at the top of the card here, and later we'll maybe talk about how to play the game. I don't know if we'll really get into how to play the game in today's video, but maybe. I guess if you really want to know, we can talk about how to play the game in a bit. But let's start at the top, because you'll get some idea of how to play the game. You're going to see the name. That's the name of each character. They obviously have their own name and what they are. So this is a hermit. And the number, this up here is our little star that tells you which number character they are. This is Clippy here, the hermit crab, and they are number 24 in the book. Or not only in the book, in the characters in general, they're number 24. Very similar Pokemon vibes of like, which number character is it, and stuff like that. In addition to that, at the top here, you're going to see this number right there. That's going to be how many points they're worth. You use their points in the beginning of the game to choose which characters you want to play with. So you can like build your team, and each character is worth a certain amount of points. And then in addition to that, at the end of the game, each of your characters is worth that many points too. So it's kind of just like a point system in the general that kind of helps you win the game too. The cards look a little bit different. This little icon here is somewhere else. It's actually right here in the middle now. But let's go down. This is our main picture of the characters. There's going to be two different versions of each card that come out with the game. And then each of those two versions will also have themselves two versions. So what does that mean? Let's just go off star ranking. If you look at the bottom right corner, we'll get to this. I mean, we're just going to jump around the card a little bit. In the bottom right corner, you'll see this 1 star. That means this is a basic card. This is a 1-star card. This is not very difficult to get. If you get the starter pack version of the game, you'll get this card. And that's why it's like 1 star. There's also, and 1-star characters have this. They have like a nice picture. They've got fun little backdrops on the. Here, let's see if I can get one that shows a really cute backdrop. Like this, there's like sprinkles in the background, stuff like that. They all have that. That's our basic card. And then second rarity, so 2-star cards are our basic cards like this, but then they're holographic. You know, we're calling them shinies. So they're a shiny card. They've got like shiny elements to it. So, like a holographic card. They're just shiny. They've got different elements for the shiny too, like certain pieces on the card are shiny, maybe the background's shiny, maybe this border is shiny. They all are different, but there's some kind of shininess to them for our 2-star ranking. Then there's a 3rd-star ranking. I actually don't know. I don't think I have any 3rd-star rankings with me. I think I left them out into the other room. Let's see if we can get Jules to grab that for us. Actually, you know what? Well, give me literally count down from 10. Okay, I'll be right back. 10, 9, 8, 7. One and a half. 1. Okay, here I do have some. I think I have a full art version in here somewhere. Actually, I don't know if I have any full art versions of the characters. But I do have some full art versions of the secret missions, because there's other cards in this deck too. So we'll get to secret missions in just a second. But just so you can see the idea here, this is an example of a full art card. And you'll see it's like art all the way to the corners of the card. So every card has this kind of version, and it's different art too. So the full art one has different art than the basic cards. And then, so that's a 3-star ranking. And then there's a 4-star card, which is this card with the full art with holographic. So it's this and it's all shiny. So that's just really cool. As you can tell, I'm a big nerd when it comes to TCGs and stuff. So I really wanted to add a lot of things like that in. Okay. That's rarity stuff. Let's keep going down the card. Sorry, I'm so excited. Can you tell? Can you see how excited I am? I hope you can. All right, next thing down on the card, we have their hearts. Now, every character has different amount of hearts. Some have a lot of hearts. Like Hogan the cactus here has 4 hearts, which is pretty good. Our Clippy here only has 1 heart, so they're pretty weak, easy to KO. And then after the hearts, you'll see Their shields, that's their limit of how many shields they can have in the game. So shields are like a way to defend your character so that when they're attacked, they don't take as much damage. So the shields show how many shields you can carry. And then you'll see your stats. Every character has 3 different main stats. You have your attack. It's going to be your first stat here. You have your wind. That's your second stat here. And then your third stat, the green one, is your support stat. So this helps you support your character. Going down the list of what those do, they're kind of obvious. Attack is to attack a character. Wind is to wind your yarn ball in the center. And then support is to defend your character. There's only 4 things you can do with your character every action. So every turn that you have, every character can do 1 thing each round. Of those things, you can attack, you can wind your yarn ball, or you can support your character. We'll talk a little bit more about what that means in just a moment. But just know that's how those stats work. Every character has different stats. When you see the number next to those stats, that's how many dice you roll. So that's the other thing about this game, is it's a dice rolling card game, which is very, very unique, I think, for a card game in general. Basically, though, whenever you're playing this game, I actually have a few dice right here. Whenever you're playing this game, you'll try to do something. Like, let's say we want Clippy the Hermit to attack another character. They would roll their attack, so they would only roll 1 dice in this case. There's other ways to get more higher rolls and stuff. You roll your dice. Hey, what a roll! That's great. So you want to roll, and if you get a 5 or a 6 on any roll, every time you roll a dice, you're just trying to get a 5 or a 6. If you get a 5 or a 6, it counts, and it counts as a successful roll, which means that would do 1 damage. So now we would take that dice and we'd put it on whoever we attacked. Let's say we attacked Jimmy the Donut here, and it would go over Jimmy's heart, and they would take 1 damage. That's how the game works. That's what these numbers mean, is they mean how many dice you roll when you try to do that different thing. So again, you got attack, you got wind, you got your support, and then the last thing you got is your special ability. Every single character in the game has their own special ability that makes them useful in certain ways or another. Ooh, great question, Lizzie. I will get to your question in just a moment, Lizzie. That is a very good question, and I have a very good answer for that. Your ability does something different for each character. So Clippy here has pinch, where they can steal another character's defense. So if another character has shielded their character, then Clippy here can try to steal those shields for themselves. So it's just kind of like a fun thing. Every character has, and there's like a bunch of balancing, and there's a bunch of combinations. So like, let me show you a good example of a combo character. Like Shank the Goblin here has Pickpocket, which lets him steal points from another team. And then another character who I don't actually, you know what? They're in my secret stash here. I'll show you one of the characters that I wasn't really going to show you, just because it makes sense for this. There he is. Chester the Mimic. So this is a great example of a combo. Chester the Mimic multiplies any points that you get, any points that you earn by 2. So if you have Shank the Goblin and Chester the Mimic on your team, you know that on turn 1 you can try to use Jackpot from Chester the Mimic to double the amount of money that you steal from the opponent. So there's like all these kinds of little combos like that, which is really fun too. The bottom of your card, you'll see a last few different things. So there's a type. It's kind of hard to see in this camera, but there's a different type for every character. I think there's like 9 types of characters. Types right now are used for secret missions and some abilities. Eventually, I think I'm going to have some other things that I add to the game that make types even more interesting and useful. But for right now, it is used, but not that much. So that's just one thing. There's a few different types. There's plant type. Clippy here is both a critter type and a water type, so he's both. And then next to the types, you'll see a little trophy. You can kind of barely see it. Clippy here is only worth 1 trophy. Here you see Hogan the Cactus is worth 2 trophies. Those are for when another character defeats your Goomy, they get that as a trophy card, and then those trophies are worth extra points at the end of the game. Now here's, I think this is the coolest part of every card, personally, and I think you're gonna really like it too. In the middle right here, all these cards right now will say 0000, but you'll see a little code. I think it's 8 numbers. You see it? And it's got a little untangle code there. That is for the card. We're building a system on the website where if you put the code in from every card, every single card will have a different code. If you put the code in on the website, it'll untangle the card to a digital binder so that you can keep all your digital cards in on the website. And and then in addition to that, it'll give you a bunch of links. It'll tell you where to find the pattern. It'll give you the lore of the character. It'll give you some strategy on how to use the character. Stuff like that. But the cool part is it's going to work with our untangle system on the website. So every 5 cards, I think it's going to be 5. I'm still figuring that out exactly, but I think it's going to be every 5 cards that you untangle, you get a credit for the website so you can untangle any pattern from the website. So that way, like, you're consistently untangling credits, which you're using to get the patterns for the characters. And then if you crochet the character and post a picture of it, you also get credits back for that too. So it's kind of like this gamified version of untangling your cards. So you're consistently wanting to crochet them and then untangle them. So that's just kind of a super fun thing that I'm really, really excited about. I am very clearly very excited. Yes. Okay, so those are the Goomis and the characters and stuff. We'll talk more about like how the game actually works in just a bit. But let me answer a couple of questions. There's also like a whole different part about the game called secret missions, which are just secret objectives that you're trying to complete during the game to get extra points. So there's like here, this is how typing is worked. Like Twinsies here says, at the end of the game, you want to have 1 Goomi of the same type as the opponent has. And if you have the same type of Goomi as the opponent, then you'll get however many points this is worth, 30 points. So it could change the game and help you win your game better. But we'll talk more about that later. See, you can see I have a lot to talk about. I forgot where I left off. I wanted to answer Lizzie's question. Okay, so Lizzie had a very good question, and so did Rocky asks, actually, I'll answer that one really quick. How many points do you have at the start of the game? At the start of the game, you have 50 points. 50. So, to choose your team with. And in the game, there's also only 3 zones that you can fill with characters. So, for example, Houtini here, the owl, is worth 15 points. Oh, I just realized I put all the cards together, even the ones I didn't really want to show you. Whatever. Jimmy's worth 15 points. Some of them are worth a crazy amount. Here, I'll show you one of the strongest card in the game right now. Eventually, I'm going to have other cards that are stronger and stuff. But this one is Flint the Dragon. He's the strongest character in the game. You can see he's got 5 hearts, 2 shields. He's crazy strong. 4 attack, 2 wind, 3 support. He's wild. But he's worth 40 points. So he's almost your entire team's points to get this guy in your team. And then in addition to that, you can get points during the game to get other characters. You can buy new cards while you're playing the game too. So that's the point thing. There's 50 points. Next question. Lizzie says, if I pre-order the game, then do you send it together with the books? That's a great question. We're going to have a system during the backer kit. So the backer kit's going to launch on September 1st. The book comes out on September 22nd. So I'm going to have the option during the backer kit so that you could get the book early if you want the book early, or I can ship it all together. If you pre-ordered the book on clubcrochet.com, then you're just going to get the book. I'm just going to ship it to you so you have it day 1. I'm actually probably going to ship it to you early. If you buy it from Club Crochet, I'll probably send it to you before the release date, but shh, don't tell my publisher that. So yeah, if you buy it from there, that's basically how it's going to go. You can get it either way. And then on the backer kit, if you pre-order the book, there's going to be a very special tier that's only visible for people that pre-order the book, that gives you extra stuff if you also buy the game on top of the book that you pre-ordered from the website. So there's a whole bunch of different ways that I'm making it so it's as fair as possible. Also, if you pre-order the book from our website, I'm going to sign all of the books that are pre-ordered from the website. So they're going to be hand signed. And then in addition to the backer kit, if you buy the book on the backer kit, I'm gonna sign the ones that people back during the backer kit. At least some of them. I don't really know how it's going to work so right now, but basically if you want it signed, I will sign it. I would be so honored. It would be the coolest thing in the world if you want one signed. Like, that would be just, that would be so cool. Okay, next question was from Patricia. Patricia asks, will we receive a set of the cards with your book, or do you have to print them? You have to print them. So there's two options. You can buy the cards. There's going to be a bunch of different ways to buy the cards if you want to just buy the actual cards already made. But if you get the book, you get the files so you can print them yourself from home, just so that like you have the option if you want it, so you don't have to buy more if you don't want to. That's actually a big thing that I'm trying to do for this game, is I want to make it as like economically friendly as possible for anybody that wants to get into this. That's one of the things I really have a problem with like Pokemon and like Magic the Gathering, stuff like that, is that there's a pay to win tier thing. Like, and I don't like that. I want everybody to have as many opportunities to have strong characters as anybody else. I just want there to be rarities in like the art and the holographics and stuff like that. I think that's more fun than having characters that are like stronger because you bought the game differently or something. That just is not my thing. So instead, what we're doing is every single character from the cards, you're gonna get a printable version if you purchase the book. And then if you want the physical cards that are actually like printed, that I get printed in like really high quality with holographic versions, and there's different, the different stars for each one. They also will have the little untangle codes on them, things like that. Then you can buy those separately. So you'll be able to buy them when the game comes out. There's going to be a starter pack, which gives you all 50 characters that you see here. It'll come with all 50 characters. The first base version, this 1-star ranking version of every card. And then it'll also come with packs of dice and little tokens, everything that you need to play the game right out the box. And then there's also going to be booster packs, so you can buy booster packs for the game. There's going to be ones where just random booster packs, you just get random cards in it, guaranteed holographics and stuff in some of the boosters. There's also going to be certain boosters that are all holographic cards, so it's like if you're just trying to chase that one holographic character, then you can just buy a holographic pack so that it's easier to find the cards that you want. We're also trying to make ways for people to crochet their own characters and sell them. So if you want to crochet your characters and sell them, we're going to have, well, I'm not going to promise this right now. I'm really trying to get this to be a thing, but I want to make a way that anybody that has a market on like Etsy or something, they can send us the link and we'll put it on the home page so people can buy the hand crocheted versions of the characters if they don't want to actually crochet them themselves. Speaking of crochet, there are mechanics in the game for crocheted pieces. So if you play the game, and you know what, I'm going to talk about a kind of a weird mechanic right now. Whenever you're playing the game here, let's pull out a card. Let's pull out a character that I have with me. Here, let's try to find Bigfoot. Bigfoot Bobby. He's our flagship starter character. Hold on. He's somewhere in here. Somewhere in here. There he is. There's Bigfoot Bobby. Okay, so if you play the game and you're like, I have a hand crocheted Bigfoot Bobby, what you can do is you play your card out on the game, and then you add your hand crocheted Bigfoot Bobby on top of your card or in front of your card. It depends on how you want to do it. You can have them sitting there. You can just have them off to the side. Doesn't matter. As long as you have a hand-crafted piece with your card, then if you have that out, you get inspiration. So in this game, if you can get inspiration for your characters, and it gives you a dice that you place over your star. And now whenever Bigfoot Bobby's turn, their first turn of their game, they get to roll this dice in addition to all the other dice. So if they attack someone, now instead of having 2 attack, they've got 3 attack because they get the 2 for their attack and 1 for their inspiration. So now they hit twice, boop, boop, because they got 2 5s. I won't go too detailed on the rules right now. We'll probably do that at a later time because, it's just kind of complicated, and I'd rather just talk about the general ideas here. But the point is that there's actually a mechanic for having a hand crocheted character. So that's just kind of fun. It makes sense to want to crochet the characters. It doesn't change the game a lot. Like, you won't win the game because you have all hand crocheted characters. I guarantee you will not. That's not going to win you the game. But it is kind of cool. It does add a little bit, just a tiny bit, to make your character stronger, but not enough to break it or make yourself more overpowered than an opponent. Yes, there will be God packs as well. So not only will there be an Oops All Shiny cards one, but there's also going to be God packs that are randomized. So you might open a booster pack and it'll be a God pack and it'll be all the best cards, the highest rarity. There's only going to be like, I think when we release, I think I'm only going to do like 10 of them. Like, it's going to be a very small amount and it'll be totally randomized if you get them or not. Okay. What else? Signed thing, blah, blah, blah. Can you change the colors? Oh, totally you can change the colors. Yeah, you don't need to crochet them this way. Like, they don't need to look like that. I actually have a Bigfoot Bobby that I play with all the time when I play this game with friends that is red. So, oh, here he is. Here we go. So this is my red Bigfoot Bobby. So yes, the answer is yes, you can change the colors. You don't need to stick to the same colors. You can change the yarn too. You can make giant bulky ones using blanket yarn. That's totally fair. Totally in play. Okay, so that's everything, I guess, about the crochet parts there. What other questions did I have, or was anybody tossing more questions there before we get to? I do want to kind of crochet one of the characters today, if we can, but I mean, we might not have enough time. I don't know. I'm hoping we do. Okay. Let's see. Other things that I wanted to talk about the cards. They're super cool, and I love them, and I'm really proud of them. They're really stinking cute. Yes, that is true. They are super, super stinking cute. Exactly. Crochet to play instead of pay to play. Exactly, Prisma. That is exactly the idea. Yeah, these cards have gone through a lot of iterations, and again, they are not finalized. These are still just prototypes. A lot of the things like the text, the way the font looks, I'm going to change a bit of the font. I'm changing some things here and there. And then full art, all that other stuff. What other things did I want to tell you about? I wanted to tell you about... the secret missions. Yes, I want to tell you a little bit about secret missions. Hold on, let me move this out of the way. Get these characters out of here. So, in the game, I kind of mentioned this before. There's a bunch of ways to make the game more or less complicated. You know, I'm not a fool. I know who's playing this game. I know it's going to be a lot of crocheters. I know it's going to be a lot of crocheters that don't play a lot of games. So because of that, we have a bunch of different modular ways to play this game that makes it more or less complicated, so that if you want to play this with like your 6-year-old kid, you totally can, and it won't be too complicated. But if you want to play it with like someone that plays Magic the Gathering every week, you can add all these extra rules in to make it really fun and strategic. Just so that, like, I just wanted there to be options, you know, because I want to play it like really complicated. I want there to be like all these weird rules, but also I want to play it with my niece Kara. And when I play with Kara, she's like 7. So I can't play with those crazy rules. I need to simplify the game big time. So I want to have those different options. It also helps you to learn the game really early on, so it's really easy to learn. So let's start with the simple parts. We kind of actually talked about how to play the game a little bit. Like, you roll dice, you get certain points, blah, blah, blah. There are 2 ways to win the game. You can either during the game. So there's 5 rounds. It's a very fast game. There's only 5 rounds. It takes maybe about 30 minutes at most to play a round, or I mean, not a round. An entire game is about 30 minutes. If you really know what you're doing, you can do it in like 10 minutes to play a whole game. If you want a crazy complicated version of the game, you can probably take up to an hour. But I would say on average it's about 30 minutes per game. And when you play it, there are 2 ways to win while you're playing, and then there's 1 way to win at the end of the game. So after you're done playing, if neither team wins in the first 2 ways, then the third way it comes down to points and who has the most amount of points. The first way to win while you're playing the game is by it's called a brutal victory. A brutal victory is when you defeat all, or maybe it's called and a battle victory. I can't remember. I need to look at the rules. But the idea there is if you defeat all the characters from another opponent's team, then they're out and you win. Pretty basic, you know. I will say it's really, really hard. In my opinion, I think it's really hard to win in a battle victory because every turn, at the end of the turn, you have a chance to add another card out. So it's very easy to keep yourself, not easy, but you can keep yourself alive. But it's not impossible. You can win with a battle victory, which is pretty fun. This game is also 2 to 4 players, so you can play with a whole team of people at the same time. So everybody has their own team. So it's not just 2-player. You can either play it free for all, or 4 players, or you can play 2 versus 2. I'm also trying to work on a single player version. I'm calling it the boss rush mode, where you battle only like the most powerful characters, and you're playing by yourself, or you're playing with your on a team with someone else. So it's like you both have characters out, and you're both against this one boss character. So there's going to be a bunch of ways to play this game if you want to play it in one way or another. The second way you can win the game, so the first way is battle victory. You defeat all the characters from opponents. The second way is with a wind victory. During the game, you have I have these dice packs that are coming up with the game too. You've seen me making these actually for the past few years. So these are just to hold all your dice if you want to. You can also play this game with digital dice. You don't need to have physical dice. You can just use digital dice and something to keep track of how much health each character has. So you don't need to have physical dice. But in the game also, there is this dice. This is going to be an 8-sided dice. You don't need to use a dice for this. You can use a tracker of any kind. I'm thinking of making a card tracker too for people to print out if they don't have an 8-sided dice or something like that. But basically, this is your yarn ball. During the game, you're trying to wind your yarn ball up to 8, like all the way full. If you wind your yarn ball up full before the opponent does, then you win the game. So that's the other way to win. You can defeat all the characters, or you can wind your yarn ball all the way up to 8. Boop, like that. Every character has a chance to wind their yarn ball. So let's go to a character, for example. Let's do Houtini here, because they're very powerful for winding. Houtini has 3 wind, which means they get to roll 3 dice to try to wind the yarn ball. If they get just one of those dice successful, they only need 1. Then the yarn ball goes up by 1, or you can lower an opponent's yarn ball by 1. So for Houtini here, there we go. We rolled 2 6s, which means that's 2 successes, but for winding, you only get 1. So it doesn't matter if there's 2, as long as 1 is, that's all you need. So we succeeded in this roll, so that means we get to wind our yarn ball up to 2. And then we just keep going. Up, 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 up. Now this character goes, and this character goes, and you're just trying to wind your yarn ball up, and if you get your ball wound up before the opponent, then you win. So it's kind of like, there's a bunch of different ways to win so that it's modular like that. Or not modular, it's just kind of like strategic. You can be strategic based on how you want to play the game. If you want to play it really brutally, then you can, but you might lose if you're going so heavy in attacking. You might lose because the other team is just trying to wind their yarn ball up, and so if they wind theirs up before you do, but there's all this like, ooh, should I wind? Should I attack? Should I use my special ability? Yeah, it's very cool. And then the third way to win is with points. So during the game, you're getting points every round. All your characters are worth a certain amount of points. You get extra points for your secret missions, which I'm about to talk about. And so at the end of the game, whoever has the most points wins, if neither player wins the other way. And pretty much everything you're doing during the game is giving you points. Okay, so speaking of secret missions, this is the other cool thing. And I know I kind of barely talked about it, but let's talk about it a little bit more. Again, these are draft cards. All the art for these cards specifically, almost all the art is different now. So I don't have the new ones yet. I'm waiting for them to get shipped to me, and I'll show you when I get them. But there's a bunch of these missions that you're trying to complete. So in the start of the game, you get a couple of these mission cards, and you get to pick which one you want to go with throughout the game. And then during the game, you have opportunities to change your mission. So if you really don't like what your mission is, you could change it. The idea with this is just giving you kind of a guiding light while you're playing the game. And these are additions to the rules. So you don't have to play with these mission cards unless you want to make your game a little bit more complicated. But each one is different. So during the first thing, I think there's going to be 8 mission cards. And then there's going to be, by the time we release, I'm hoping to come out with 30 mission cards is the plan. Maybe 32 or something. But they're all different. So like for this one, it's have exactly 4 trophies on your team. Have 3 Goomis of one type between your team and hand. Have at least 2 Goomis shielded at the end of the game. So just a bunch of these different little rules. The opponents have 1 empty zone that you're trying to do. These also, all of these cards also have 2 different kinds of cards. So there's also like the base cards that you're looking at right now. And then there's also going to be full art cards, shiny cards, all that kind of stuff. Yes. You won't. Sorry, I'm wrong. Morgana, you won't get the. There are crochet patterns for these secret missions. So like Living Lean here. These ones don't have a code on it because I forgot to put them on it, but the new versions do. So these will have their own codes also, which will give you the cards and then tell you which patterns are on the cards, and then you can use your credits to untangle those patterns. So the answer is yes. You will be able to. Every single thing that you see on any of these cards should have a crochet pattern on the website. That's my goal. My goal is to have a pattern on the website for every single thing that you see, which is pretty easy. You know, we have the octopus, we got the squid, we got the little babies. Yeah. Okay, so that's how secret missions work. It's just so cool, guys. I'm just so stinking excited about it. I think it's maybe one of the coolest things I've ever made. It's really, really fun. The game itself is really fun. The book is so cool. Let's look at the book more. Let's look at the book just a little bit more, just because I'm so into it. Again, this just came this week, so it's very fresh for me. But here's what I'm thinking we could do for today's video. I'm thinking, I know we're already an hour in, but I'm thinking we could crochet one of the patterns from our book today to just get us ready, you know? Oh, look at that. And it smells good too. It smells like book. Oh. And can you see the glossiness too? See how it's all like textured? Isn't that freaking cool? It's so cool. It's so cool. It's so cool. Okay. Let's go to a different character though. And let's crochet one. So I think what we could do here is I think these are all the characters that I'm willing to crochet today because we have enough time to crochet them. So why don't we pull one randomly? Actually, you know what? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll pull 4 of them randomly. And then I'll choose 2. And then you'll vote between those 2 for which one we crochet. And while you're voting, we'll fill up this bottle of buttons a little bit more with everybody that's reserved or followed and stuff like that. Okay, so we're shuffling it in. Like I said, again, these are only the prototypes. They're going to look different. They're going to look so cool. They're going to look like straight up like Pokemon cards. I'm so excited. Okay. Here, let's fan it out. And we'll choose some cards. We'll go with this one. We'll go with this one, and this one. Okay, so these are the 4 that I'm going to choose from. And I'm going to choose 2 of these, and you're going to choose, of those 2, one of them. Okay, ooh, these are actually kind of some hard patterns to do. We got Bert the Orc. Ooh, Bert the Orc might be kind of tough, but would be fun to crochet. Maybe. I'm going to give him a maybe. We got Hogan the Cactus. That's another one that's not the easiest to crochet, but kind of would be fun. We got Davy the Squid. Now, Davy's a boss character. They're actually, see the little, each card, boss characters have a little, you kind of can't see it, but there's a little crown on their type character, and that tells you that they're a boss, which means that they're a little bit harder to crochet, but also they're a little bit more powerful in the game. So we got Davy the Pirate Squid, or we got Grant the Rock. I'm not going to lie, I kind of want to crochet Grant the Rock because I really like Grant the Rock. I don't know, what do you guys think? Any suggestions from the chat as I get a drink of water? Reiki, no, we have not done our last part of our puppet, by the way. That's coming next week. So here's where we left off, by the way, on our puppet. This is coming next week. We're going to finish up our puppet. So, just letting you know. I just haven't had a chance to do our last live stream for it yet. Thanks for asking, though. Okay, I think I'm going to go with... Oh, man. Oh, okay. Someone says... Melinda thinks we should do the rock. All right, cool. I agree with you, Melinda. I'm going to put rock as one of them. And then... I think I want to either do Hogan or Davey. Bert's... I just feel like Bert's maybe a little much for today. Because he takes a lot of... Like, there's a lot of parts for Bert. Let's go with... For my second one... I'm going to go with... Davey's also a little tough. I'm going to go with Hogan. Okay, so that's what we're going to vote on. Are we making Hogan or Grant the Rock today? During today's live stream. Let's go ahead and put the poll in the chat. And then you can decide from those ones. Kathy also thinks we should make the Rock. All right, we're going to put the poll on the horizontal version of our stream today, by the way. Which character are we making? So we're making Hogan the Cactus or Grant the Rock. And then we'll go ahead and... Yeah, it's hard to pick. I agree, it's hard to pick, Melinda. Okay, so the vote is going on right now. Go ahead and vote on it. You can either vote in the horizontal live stream or you can put it in the comments, and I'll just keep that in mind as we go. And then let's go ahead and while you guys are doing that, I'm going to go ahead and add in all of these from anybody that has pre-ordered the book. So if you pre-ordered the book or you've reserved your spot for the game, let me know right now in the chat, and I'll add an extra button for you. So go ahead, ask me or let me know if you have reserved the game, and I'll add something to this for you. And if we can't put our hand on top of it and seal it, then we've completed our giveaway, which is pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. Okay, so I know we've got Cooper. That's right. Hold on. Let me get some buttons here for us. I know we got Cooper. I think we've got yes, Prisma. Okay, so we got Cooper. Supa Koopa. We got... Hold on, I gotta hide this because I can't see the chat. Prisma. Yes, do the little hand one. Here, we'll give you a little bit bigger of a button. That's for Prisma. We got Patricia, pre-ordered on day one. Kristen both pre-ordered and reserved the game, so they get a double button. And not only that, we're going to give her a star, too, for doing that. If you've done both, you get a special button, too. So this is for... Who's this for? Kristen, right, though. Kristen, this button's for you. Kristen, this button's also for you. You get a fancy star button, too. We got... Morgana has reserved the game. Thank you for reserving. Patricia. Oh, we did Patricia. Prisma. Oh, and Lizzie. Yes, of course, and Lizzie. Thank you, Lizzie. And I think there's other people there, but... Oh, Lizzie's pre-ordered twice. Okay, cool. Well, this is for your second pre-order then, Lizzie. Thank you. Thank you. You're the best. You're the best. You're the best. How was my 4th of July? Yeah, I had a good 4th of July. I had a good 4th of July. Said that funny. We actually saw the Beach Boys last week, at the Hollywood Bowl, and it was okay. They're very old. There's really only one Beach Boy left, unfortunately. But you know who played with them was, what's his name? John Stamos? No. Is it John Stamos? Cooper reserved it. Oh, and they just reserved it. Okay, if you just reserved it, we'll give you an extra big button too. Okay. Cooper, thank you for reserving the game. And Alana, you rock. Look at this cool button for you, Alana. I don't know what I'm going to use this for, but it is really cool looking. We are getting very, very close. I think we have like maybe 10 more. Maybe. And that's if I'm like being a little stingy with it too. We're very close to filling this up. I need to get another one of these to keep the ball rolling. What was I just talking about? Oh yes. What's the guy's name? He's from Full House. It was the Beach Boys and this guy. What's his name? John Stamos? Yeah, John Stamos. Yeah, John Stamos. That's who it was. It was wild. It was wild. It was fun, though. I liked it. All right, let's see where we're at on the vote. Oh, my gosh, it's a 50-50 vote right now, you guys. We need people to vote. Do you want us to make Grant the Rock or Hogan the Cactus? It's a 50-50 vote. Ah! I get to vote. Dodoy. How do I vote? How do I vote? I want to vote. Oh, I can't. I can't. I got to open it up in a different way if I want to vote. But that's all right. We're going to let the next vote count it. So the next, whoever votes next, there's only one more. We only have 14. Not a lot of votes right now, but we need a 15th to break the tie. Melinda says that she loves them both, so that isn't helpful. All right, Prisma says that her husband also votes for Grant the Rock. Patricia! Okay, Patricia said they both reserved and ordered the book. Hold on. Melinda, the vote was on the other stream, but I'll just throw it in for you. You said The Rock also? Okay, that's 2 extra people that are saying The Rock. Patricia, this is for your reservation. This is really cool. Look at this button real quick. It's like a 4-leaf clover or something. It's really cool. And then this is for your reservation. A beautiful golden button. Big golden button. Thank you, Patricia. You rock. Okay. So, we're going to go ahead and end our poll. And we're going to say it's Grant the Rock. And let's make some space. Let's talk a little bit about Grant the Rock. And show you his page on the book, too. So, how fun! Isn't this fun? This is so cool. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Thanks for being here, everybody. All right, so the first thing is, let's look at Grant the Rock. I'm going to read you his description here. We'll find which page he's on without spoiling too much. And it's actually Grant and Chum Buckley are on the same page. So I'll go ahead and just read Grant's description here for you. So Grant says, Chum's pet rock, Grant, was once one of the most handsome squirrels in the woods. He even won Bushiest Tail Award until that fateful day that he nibbled on a wizard's unattended tuna sandwich. One bippity-boppity-boo later, and Grant and his beautiful tail were turned into granite. He's been living life as a boulder ever since. Luckily, Chum stumbled upon him rolling around trying to catch beetles in the mud, and they've been besties ever since. So that is the story, the little story about Grant the Rock. Now, if you get different versions of the cards, too, and untangle them on the website, I'm going to try to make it so that there's different lore, so that you get deeper and deeper lore. I think that would be a lot of fun. Okay, so our Grant will start right here on page 89. I'm going to use my little thing to keep us in track here. I'm going to keep this separated just so I can read the book as I go. I need to place this somewhere, though, is the problem. How do I do this? Maybe like this? Will this hold? No, that won't hold. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out a way to like where I can keep this book open for myself that's not covered in crochet right now. Also, we need yarn. Okay, well, I have our yarn here. So for Grant, it's nice and easy for Grant, actually. So we just need gray yarn. And what else? Hold on, it says all the things here. This is for the gobbling, but we need green for his little leaf. We need gray for the rock part. We need white for his eyes. And we're going to need... Oh, if we wanted to add a mushroom, we need jute. But we don't need that. So we only need gray, white, and green. And then a pipe cleaner. And then a hook. I actually remember a lot about how this pattern works, too. I just closed it. Like a fool. I don't want to make... Hold on. We're going to use Grant's card. Actually, we're going to use a different card. As our bookmark. That's how we're going to do it. What a great bookmark that is. Okay. Oh, and then here's the other thing about Grant. Let's look at Grant's how Grant plays in the game, because that's kind of fun too. So when you look at his card, Grant has... Hold on. Boop. The game is going to be available at battlegoomies.com. You can probably just go to thegoomies.com to find it. It's going to be on BackerKit, so it's basically going to be a crowdfunding campaign that's starting on September 1st. Okay, so Grant the Rock has got, he's worth 20 points, so he's actually a pretty expensive character, but he's so expensive because he's actually a pretty powerful character. He's got 3 hearts, so that's pretty healthy, and 3 shields. But the great part about Grant, okay, well let's hold on, we'll get to the great part. 3 hearts, 3 shields. He's got 0 might, so he's actually not very good at attacking, which makes sense. He's a rock. Like, well, how's he going to attack anybody? So he doesn't do much attack at all. He has 1 wind, so he's also not that great at winding. 1 isn't bad, though, because, like, based on your position in the game, you can get extra bonuses for rolling. So 1 could turn into 2, could turn into 3 pretty easy. So that's not that bad. It's not good, but it's not that bad. But where he really shines is his support. So Grant is a very heavy support character. They have 3 support, which means that every time they try to support themselves or a neighbor, they get 3 dice. And every support success that they get to add a shield to either themselves or their neighbors. So what you want to do with Grant, if you're playing the game, is you want to have Grant be next to someone that you really like. So, like, let's say it's next to, like, a weaker character, where'd my cards go? Like, if I had Shank the Goblin here, Shank's only got 2 hearts. So they're pretty easy to beat up. So what you want to do with Grant here is you want to always be supporting Shank so that Shank never gets beaten up too bad. So Grant would roll 3, and look at that, we got 1. That's all we need. So we get 1, and we add that on his shield, and now Shank is defended so that now when he gets attacked, it doesn't hurt as bad. So that's pretty much what Grant is great for. But here's the kicker with Grant. Grant has a special ability. Every character has a special ability, and Grant's special ability is they are solid. So their special ability is what's called a passive ability. Passive abilities means that they're inherent. They're built into the character themselves, and you don't need to roll to try to do it. It's just something that they start with, that they have innately. So Grant's is solid, so he starts defended with 2 shields. So right when you come out with Grant, you start the game, you place Grant down, you also place 2 shields on him. So now he's got 2 shields and 3 hearts. It's going to take 5 hits, successful hits, to beat up Grant and take him out of the game. That's hard. That's like Grant is one of the characters that almost always, if you have Grant on your team, you probably will never lose. Like, just straight up lose because all your characters get beaten up. So that's why Grant is really, really cool. And then he's also worth 2 trophies. Yeah. There's a bunch about Grant. I really like him. This is actually a prototype version of the card, so the new art for the card looks way different than this. It looks so cool. I wonder if I can share that. Maybe I can just share that with you right now. Oh, you know what? I can't. Because I'm afraid that Hold on. I'm afraid my computer won't be able to handle it. It's been a little iffy recently with GPU. But the art is very different now for Grant. It looks. I mean, that's not bad, it's like that's a fine art, but like The new one looks so cool. It's like a full art. There's like, he's like in a forest and stuff. It looks really, really cool. Okay, so that's Grant. We're going to place that to the side up here. If you have any questions about Grant, strategy that you might want to use for him, whatever, please let me know. But I'm going to start crocheting him. And by the way, if you want to crochet along with me today, Grant is already on the website and is a free pattern too. So if you want to get to him, you can find him at clubcrochet.com/rock, and it will take you directly to the Grant pattern, Grant the Rock pattern. It's totally free. There's a few patterns in the book that are totally free. We just got lucky and chose the one that is already out and already available. That's kind of cool. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and review our book as we go here. I'm pretty sure, hold on, get our bookmark. All right, so we got 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. Easy squeezy, that's how we're starting. Pretty simple. So I'm not going to really go through the tutorial today. Instead, I'm just going to crochet it along with you, and that's it. So I'm just going to make it pretty easy here. And just crochet and not really try to teach, you know? Wait, you know what? Hold on. I do want to record this. I just realized I've been keep forgetting to record myself when I'm doing things like this. Okay, so we're going to crochet Grant the Rock, so that way later we can put it together into a better video. There we go. You made a rock with a cowboy hat? Oh my gosh, I love that. Maybe we can add something special to this Grant the Rock too. That'd be kind of fun. Go ahead and shout out ideas too. I was thinking about just making it classic, but it might be kind of fun to do something a little wonky, a little weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, there's round 1. If you do have any questions though today, for crochet questions specifically, feel free to ask. I'll do my best to answer it and give you feedback or teach you how to do certain things. I would be happy to. It is kind of my whole thing. But isn't that cool? Gosh, the book looks so cool. I'm so excited. Also, shout out right now. This is early on. Very early, okay? So no promises at all about any of this. But I am planning this year in September to do a tour up the coast of the west coast of America, driving all the way up the coast and stopping in a bunch of cities to do signings, and to show off the game at game parlors and stuff, and go to yarn stores. So that's my plan, is that I'm planning a big Loops tour, 2026, West Coast Loops tour. That's my plan right now. We'll see if that, we'll see how well I get to doing that. But that is the plan right now for this year, and I'm very excited about that. Okay, just a couple more stitches for this round. I'm on round 3, by the way, if you're crocheting along with me. I believe 3 was up to 18 stitches. And so our next 2 rounds are still going to be the same thing. Pretty easy. It's pretty good. Good thing about Grant is they're a pretty easy pattern to crochet too, which is why I'm kind of glad we chose them. You know, I should probably keep the book out in front of me so I can read it. That would make more sense. We'll get to the part where we need to, and then I'll do that. Looking pretty good. Hello, Mulberry Money. Love the name, Mulberry Money. I might make it to Canada. Honestly, Chrissy, I might go all the way up to Vancouver. Because I really like Canada too. I like Vancouver a lot. I've been there, I think, like 3 times. Went there once with my mom. It was so fun. We went to a giant garden up there. So cool. And then I'm also thinking about doing on the East Coast and hopefully going to like Toronto or Ontario or something like that. I think it'd be really cool. I got some friends up there too. Not to mention, that's where Zoe is. And some other pals in the chat. Chrissy's in Ontario. See, there you go. So I'd like to make that happen. I really would. And I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities. I just don't want to go when it's super cold. You guys get so cold. Dude, Coop, if you want... Like, I will make Vancouver happen if you can make it happen. Like, if going all the way to Vancouver means that I get to meet you in person, legitimately, I might just make that extra drive. Because it's only up from Seattle. How many hours is it from Seattle to Vancouver? Like 2, 3? And I'm driving up there anyhow. It'd be silly not to. But you're kind of a little bit away from Vancouver. I don't know. We'll talk. We will definitely talk, dude. Because that would be really cool. Oh my gosh, we could play a game together of Battle Goomis. That would be so cool. Isaiah! Hold on. I want to read that. 1 second. Hey, we had a little split in the yarn there, but it totally got fixed. All on its own. We didn't need to do nothing there. Hey, that's the end of that round. That's looking pretty good. Right? There's the top of our grant. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. We've got a random crochet question. Oh, interesting. Interesting, Prisma. I will answer that question. I'll do my best to answer that. But Isaiah said, you forgot to tell me, but every week your dad's and your mom's week. I don't understand what your question is. Oh, okay. Well, cool. All right. Question is for... Oh my gosh. Hi, Nicole. I forgot to say hi earlier. I saw your comment, though. Hello, Nicole. This is a question from Prisma. Random crochet question. You tried the globe pattern 4 times, but it never looks right. The coasts look different from mine. You tried yarning over and under the yarn. What could you be doing wrong? That's a very interesting question, Prisma. You know what might help me? I mean, this might be a lot of work for you to do, but if you record yourself crocheting it from the top down and send and email it to me at louis@clubcrochet.com, that might help me easier see what might be going on. Are you a lefty? If you're a lefty, it's really hard because everything's going to be backwards. It's the one pattern on my website that actually isn't very left-hand friendly because every stitch needs to be in the perfect spot. So it might be hard to do if you're lefty. I don't know if that's necessarily a problem, though. I think what's probably happening is it's probably your not doing the top of the stitches in the right way. That's my guess is that you're pulling through with the color from the previous round so that the top of the stitches are kind of like going over in the wrong way. That's what I'm thinking might happen, because that happens to me too when I first read that pattern. But anything that you can provide to me to help really see what's going on there would be really helpful, Prisma. But maybe I can I don't know, email me. I'll do my best to try to help as much as possible. I'm assuming you crocheted along with the video tutorial as well, right? Because obviously the video tutorial is going to help out a lot. Okay, let's go back to this pattern. I have just finished round 5. So now I'm on to round 6. Oh, okay, round 6. So 3 rounds. Cool. All right, we just have 3 rounds of single crochet. That's nice and easy. Oh, it's so cool having a book. Dude, the book is so cool. I just get to be like, and what do I can refer to my great encyclopedia of all my crochet patterns. Yeah, do me a favor, Prisma, and just try to record me a little video or something and email me about this, because it'll just be a lot easier for me to help out via email than on the live stream when I'm not actually crocheting that pattern, you know? But obviously I'm more than happy to help you out here, Prisma, because that pattern is really cool. All right, so we're on round 6 right now, and I'm just doing 6, 7, and 8 are going to be the same, and then it's 12 stitches in till we add our first eye. That's pretty easy squeezy. So what I love about Grant the Rock is that Grant, at least in the game, how you want to play with Grant the Rock in Battle Goomies. At least I think. I don't know. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to come up with weird strategies that I never thought of. I have a strong feeling that's going to happen. But I would say I almost always want Grant the Rock during I either like to play him at the start of the game as one of the first characters I start with, or if I'm having a really hard time, like I'm facing a team that's really powerful and keeps beating me up, then sometimes it's like, ugh, I'd rather have, or sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, they're beating me up a bunch. I need Grant on my team so that they can defend me better. But that's really what Grant's for. Grant is fully for keeping your team alive and keeping your team defended. There's kind of like, I would say there's kind of like 5 different archetypes for different characters, maybe. There's characters that are really attack heavy. They're like Bert the Orc, who we almost crocheted. He's extremely attack heavy. Like if you have Bert on your team, you want to beat up the other team as much as possible. Because that's what Bert's good for. He has a 0 wind, so he's no good at winding. So he's pretty much just there to hit. Then there's characters that are really wind heavy, so they're like really good at winding your yarn ball up. With those characters, you're trying to win really fast by winding the ball of yarn up. And then there's support characters like Grant here. And support characters are here to support. They're here to like lend a hand to other characters, keep the other team distracted. There's certain support characters that don't necessarily have a really high support stat, but instead they have a special ability that makes it so, here, I'll show you a really good example of that. Hold on, I just had him out. The Donut. Jimmy the Donut. Who's named, by the way, all these characters are named after people in my life. So, Jimmy the Donut is named after Jimmy, the guy that does all the website. So he's one of my best friends, and he does he's our website developer. So anything that's on the website, it was made by Jimmy, who's the name for this character. But Jimmy is a very interesting support character, and the reason I say that he's a support character is because he's got a really good ability called Glazed, which makes another character focus on Jimmy. So if Jimmy uses Glazed, then that other character has to attack Jimmy on their next turn. They can't do other things that they want to do. Instead, they have to focus on attacking Jimmy. So Jimmy's a really good character to keep the other team not focused on what they want to do, and instead try to make them do what you want them to do. Which is why he's a very unique kind of support character. And then there's other characters that are all like wild cards. There's a few characters that didn't make it into this edition of the game, and they'll come into like other expansions that have like abilities that really mix the whole game up. But some of the characters in the game, like Norm and Norma, they're the gnomes, and they're a character that has their special ability is called Tinker, and if you succeed at tinkering, then you get to change the positions of all the other characters on the opponent's team. So you get to like move everybody around. So they're kind of like a wild card of a character. There's also different types of like sizes of characters. So there are our main characters, like our main Goomies, like Grant the Rock here. I would say he's like a basic Goomy in the sense that he takes up a whole space. You have 3 spaces in the game. Grant takes up one of them. There's also mini Goomies, which the Hermit Crab that we were looking at the beginning, or Norm and Norma, they're all minis. And minis can fit into the same space as a regular Goomy. So it's a way that you can get more than three Goomies on your team. So those are very special characters too, where they're maybe a little smaller, maybe a little easier to defeat, but they get their own action each round, so they make it easier to do things in the game, and they all have like very specific abilities that helps do certain things in the game. All right, that's looking pretty good. Okay, now I'm on to our next round where we're gonna make our our eyes rather. I'm looking for my white yarn, which I don't have. Out. Hold on. I have a mess and a half here. Whatever, we're just gonna use this white yarn. It's not the right white yarn, but I think it'll work. Whoa! Rocky is crocheting nunchucks? Are you crocheting nunchucks from Crochet's book? That's super cool. Or are you just making them up? That's super cool. Will I make the amazing digital circus patterns? Probably not. I try to avoid making like copywritten characters if I can. But you know, sometimes I do. Alright, I need 12 stitches here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, and then 11, and 12. And we're going to start adding our eyes. Now let's refer to our beautiful book to see what the next stitches are. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Okay, mini bobble for an eye, 5 stitches, and then another mini bobble, and then 11 stitches. This took me, by the way, this book took me forever. Because I had to test everything. You know, I've been writing these patterns for literally 2 decades. It's been about 20 years of me designing crochet patterns. And there are some patterns in this book that I designed within the first year or 2 of my crochet career. And then some of them that I have never released that I'm, you know, releasing specifically for this book. But because of that, I had to obviously test out all of my patterns again. I did a bunch of testing to make sure all the patterns were written correctly. I did find a bunch of like weird little typos in some of my old patterns. Very useful. I'm glad I tested them out so much though. Okay. I said 5, right? Yeah. 5. And then we got 2 rounds of single crochets after that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And I still do have a few video tutorials I need to record for the book. But outside of those, I think there's 2 characters I don't have video tutorials for yet. But I'm going to do that before the book comes out, obviously. Because after that, every single character will have a video tutorial. Okay, I'm going to do that. That's looking pretty good. One more stitch just to keep that locked in. Right, I think that's looking pretty good. Okay. Our white yarn. Alright, we don't need our white yarn anymore. And now I just have 2 rounds of just gray stitches. You're just making it up, Rocky. That's awesome, dude. I'm doing great. Who said Crochet Queen? Thanks for being here. It's thundering. Whoa, where are you at where it's thundering? Hey, Lucia. We don't get much rain here. By the way, I'm in Southern California right now, and it is hot. We have had a heat advisory for like a week and a half. It's been crazy. It's been really annoying, actually, because it's just been so hot out. We just can't leave the house. It's like our winter here, you know? It's like our snow days are called. They should just be called Sundays. Oh no, the sun is out. Everybody get inside, or you're gonna burn alive. I've also this week I've been building a room with my dad. My dad's been coming over a bunch this week, and we've been building a studio that we're gonna move this into. So right now we're currently in one of like our spare room, where we live, and it's just not a. It's kind of a lot of space to be taking up for this, and Jules needs an office and stuff. So we're gonna be moving our studio into a new spot, which is in our garage, which I've been building with my dad. We've been building this giant room, which has been so much fun because I've been learning all these things. Like, I'm learning how to construct a building right now. I'm like, not a building, but, you know, like, I've been nailing wood to wood, and yesterday I put up a bunch of drywall, and we did a bunch of electrical work, and yeah, it's very cool. It's very, very cool. So I'm super duper excited about that. It's not going to be done for a few weeks at least, but it's looking so cool. And it's been so much fun to learn how to do this with my dad too. So I've been learning a lot about like just all kinds of just random stuff that is so important for me to learn about. And it's just been a really fun bonding experience with my dad too. Just building a room together. It's very cool. It's been exhausting though. I've been sweating my booty off this week. Laying on top of this thing. It's so hot in there. No air conditioning. I think I sweat more this week than I've sweat in like 2 years combined. All right, so there's our eyes. That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and add our facial features to this. I think we're gonna do. Let's go with just our classic, you know. If I can get them. Do I have 8mm eyes? Okay. All right, we're gonna pull out of our big thing of eyes here, and let's go with these ones. I think these are good size. Actually, no, we'll go one size up. I think these are 8mm. No, that's not 8mm. Is that 8mm? Nope. This one? Alright. Actually, these might be 10mm eyes. But I think those are good size. Because it'll look really, like, cutesy. And we'll go ahead and we're going to put them... Here's how we're going to do the eyes. We're going to put them right here within the stitch. So right here, so there's kind of... I want to make it look... I kind of want to make it look as close to this as I can. So we're going to go ahead and put one eye right here and one eye right there. So right there. And hopefully this is a good spot for it. Oh yeah, that's pretty cute. You know, I want him to be looking up and in, kind of like a little bit cross-eyed, like that. You know, imagine the other one looking up in middle, so that when we add our thing in the center of his head right here, he's like looking straight at it. Whether that's a hat or like a leaf or something. Okay, and then the other eye, we're gonna put right here on this side. Something like that. Okay. Hold on. There it is. Wait. There we go. Nice. That's pretty good. It's looking a little cross-eyed, but that's kind of what we want. I want him to look like just the smallest amount derpy. Not bad. Right? Here, we'll do it one more time. Just pretty good. Okay. Black yarn to add a mouth is next. Oh, we need to lock these eyes in place too. Let's do that next. I don't know if these are going to work because the back of these eyes are really thick, so we're going to use a thicker. Oh, that was such a satisfying click. Ready? Oh, not as nice, but still nice. Okay. Next, we need mouth. Black yarn, where are you? Where are you? Don't try to hide from me. Jimbo the other day jumped into my light box and like totally messed everything up. I think this was yesterday, 2 days ago maybe. It was really annoying though. I was like, no, don't, please, stop. Mulberry's a duck burb. That's adorable. Okay, should we do a full strand of yarn? Yeah, we'll do a full strand. Okay. Let's just give him a normal smile. We'll make it pretty easy. Quick, Patricia, untangle your yarn. It must be untangled. Okay, we're gonna go up here with the mouth. And then over. Is this too high up for the mouth? No, that's pretty cute. From there, we're gonna come over to here. And then we'll come out through the middle of this stitch. And then around this. In. Ready? I love this part. Smile. You're on candid camera. I like to round out the smile a little bit more though. And then we'll pull that in a little bit more. Nice. And then let's go ahead and double knot. One, and two. You know what I'm really excited about Goomis? I'm really excited to come out with new ones. I mean, like, obviously all these ones are new to you. But for me, I've been working on this for years. And I've been, like, I've been chomping at the bit to make new ones. Especially using the ones that we've made during our live streams. Okay. Alright, next I think we start decreasing it down. And then we can make whatever we want to add to our pet rock. So let's start. Also, I need ideas in the chat. Give me ideas. If you have any ideas for what kind of what to add to this character. Do we want to add just the leaf? Which I'm totally cool with adding that. I mean, I love the leaf, but I'm open to maybe adding a hat or mushroom or I mean, the leaf is really cute though. I think the leaf would be great. Okay, well let's start with adding or sewing it closed. We're not going to add any eyelids right now, but there is instructions in the book. Check it out. I have instructions for adding eyelids, which is kind of fun. But we're going to move on to the body here, and we're just going to start decreasing it down. 24, 12, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Easy. And then we'll move on to the sprout. That's what it's called. It's called the sprout, not leaf. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. And a decrease. Tina, you rock. That's a double. I just realized, Tina, I totally forgot to. You did that in the beginning too. Tina, you're the best. I don't have Jack with me right now, so we can't nibble up your money. So instead of Jack, we're gonna add these 2 buttons to our big old... Actually, you know what? We're going to do a bigger button for you, too. This is for you, Tina. This is for your first one that I missed. This is for your second one, because you're the sweetest, petitest, and the weetest. Look at that. I think we got, like, just a few more left. How exciting. How exciting is that? Three. And then a decrease. 2, 3, and then a decrease. A jester hat. Now that's interesting. Nicole wants a butterfly. Oh, butterfly is great. A mushroom with a little face. Oh my gosh, yes. We can do both of that. Let's do that. We'll do a mushroom with a little face, and we'll add maybe a little butterfly on top of that. Oh, that'd be cute. We can do the mushroom looking up at the butterfly, and then Grant the Rock here is looking up at the mushroom. So it's like a 3, it's like, that's cute. Okay, so we'll have this guy, and then we'll do a mushroom on top of that, and then on the mushroom we'll do a little butterfly, and then they'll all be looking at each other. That's cute. That's cute. We're gonna do that. All right, only a few more rounds left for the rock itself, though. We're almost done. And this is going to be the only thing we crochet today is our rock with our little mushroom and stuff. We'll be live. I'll be live next Friday. Let me make certain about that, because I keep saying that, and then I realized that I had something planned, because I'm a goofball. Yeah, we're good. All right, so I'll be live again next Friday. We're going to be finishing up our puppet. We'll be finishing up our puppet next week. And then I'm hoping that I have enough time to also play a game of Battle Goomis soon, because I'd love to show you how a game plays. It's just hard to find time with Jules, because she got a full-time job. All right. And obviously, I need someone to play with. Oh, I forgot to say, I also have a digital version of the game I'm working on, so we can play online together, too. Looking pretty good. All right, let's go ahead. I'll do one more round and then stuff. I was going to stuff it up right now, but we'll do one more round first. Grant the Rock. Powerful. The powerful Grant. So much power. Grant used to be the other way around. Until like last week. Not last week. What am I talking about? Like a month or so ago. There was a totally different stats. It wasn't your support stat. It was your speed. Each character had speed. But it made the game really complicated. So like essentially what you would have to do... Cooper wants a Goomy rematch. Great. Love that. Essentially what you'd have to do when there's speed is that you needed to like... see who went next. Like, oh, 3 speed couldn't... Or 2 speed couldn't go before 3 speeds and stuff like that. But it just made it really complicated. So I had to change that. Glad I did, obviously. There we go. Got the stuffing in there. Don't want to overstuff it, but I definitely don't want to understuff it. We'll add this black thread that we used earlier. Oh wait, you know what? We're going to need this for the mouth of our mushroom. Okay, we're gonna need to add just a little bit more stuffing in this in a sec, but he's looking pretty good. Also, I forgot to mention we're gonna be coming out with a bunch of new crochet kits when Goomis comes out too. So there's gonna be a bunch of new crochet kit options. Anybody who got the anybody who did the annual pass, also, you probably already gotten an email from me, but you'll be getting the book. That was part of the deal. Because if you got the annual pass, you got like the book whenever I come out with it. Before I even knew what the book was, that was the deal. So if you're out there and you had an annual pass once upon a time, a book is coming your way, or a game. It's up to you. You'll be able to like choose what you want to get. So check your email. You should have gotten something from me like months ago about it. But I'll reach out again. Don't worry. All right. Okay. Cut our yarn. We'll sew our rock up and then make mushroom. Needs a lot more stuffing though. I was interviewed on a podcast this week. It's actually coming out next week too. So if you want to check out that podcast, it's on Spotify. It's called Crochet Baes, Baes, and they interviewed me about the new book and about just like my journey and like all the stuff. I mean, you know, the two of them were like, "We've known you for a long time, like, but didn't even know that it was you because we've been crocheting your patterns forever." And so it was just a cool thing because they were like, I told them, you know, I've been crocheting for so long and not until recently did I kind of really start putting my face in the videos and stuff. So a lot of people don't know sometimes that I was the designer of the pattern that they first learned how to crochet on. The Triceratops, for example. A lot of people learned to crochet using that Triceratops pattern. They didn't even know it. They didn't even know it. All right. Is that enough stuffing? Let's just finish up with this stuffing. Might be overdoing it, but whatever. All right. That is looking cute. Look how cute he's looking. All right, let's sew it closed. And then get started on our mushroom. What color mushroom should we make? Should we just do a jute mushroom, or should we do a brown one? Should we do an orange mushroom? We could do a blue mushroom. I don't know. What do you guys think? Wilderness? You saw me in the wilderness of YouTube Shorts? Is that related to the podcast? No, I don't think so. Where did you see it? Where did you see me in the wilderness of YouTube? Was it Louis Loop's channel, or was it the I did a collaboration the other day with Naomi from Crochet Croutons. Might have been that. Okay. All right, we are sewn closed. Let's cut the yarn and get rocking and rolling on our mushroom. Okay, so for our mushroom, we do a pink mushroom? No, that might be a little creepy. Let's do we could do, why don't we jute or purple? It's not bad. Jute or purple? Let's see, do I have purple? Yeah. Okay, purple might be kind of fun. I don't know, what do you guys think? Purple, jute. First color to get 3 comments from different people wins. Cyan, purple, jute. Let's get the yarn prepared. And then we need a butterfly, obviously, too, but we can get that done last. Red. Rocky says red. Elizabeth asks, what size is my crochet hook? We are currently using a size G 4mm crochet hook. You can also use a 3.5mm. There's a second purple. There's a third purple. All right. Mulberry says purple. Celine says purple. And Melinda said purple. And so did Morgana. So we have made our choice. Hi, Morgana, by the way. I know I already said hi, but hi again. All right. So let's go to the book because I need to remember how to make this mushroom. I'm pretty sure it's just pretty easy, but I got it written down. Next page. There we go. Mini mushroom cap. Single crochet 6. Yes, that's right. Working the front loops only. Now I'm remembering. And go to 10 stitches around. Okay, cool. 6, 8, 10. I'm going to have to reopen that in a second. Okay. Start here, though. A blue butterfly. Ooh, I like that. A cyan butterfly. A yellow butterfly. A yellow. I mean, I think yellow might be the best option for a butterfly just because it might pop really well, but I'm kind of open to different ideas too. Cyan might be fun. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then I'm supposed to work only in the front loops. And I can't remember. Oh, I think I was supposed to leave this as a long end too. Oops. We'll just use the other end as that. It was 1. Wait, let me look at this. I just 2. Okay. 1, 2, and then an increase right here. Oh, someone says hi. Who says hi? George. Hey, George. How you doing, man? How is your day going, Georgie? 1, 2, and then our increase right here. One and 2. All right, and then we pull it out like that. There's the start of our mushroom. Liking it. And then I guess we can make the bottom of the mushroom jute too. And we'll make it all purple. It'll be a lot easier. All right, so how many stitches for this round? 1. Is it 3 and then an increase? One increase, 3 increase. 1 single, 1 slip. Okay. So 1 single, then an increase right here. Ow. And then 3. Hello, Omagat. 1, 2, 3. Melinda, thank you for greeting the new viewers too. Appreciate that. Tina wants an orange. Is that an orange butterfly? Wait. Two, yes. Okay. And now we just do 1 single and 1 slip stitch. And then we need the end of this yarn to be pretty long. Pretty long end. Pull that up. I think we'll add the mouth after we add the stem. So here's how we do that. Thread our yarn here. Do a hidden end here. I'm starting to remember this now. Boom. And then into there. We'll go a few stitches up to about right there coming out of the top. And then hide that end in. Boom. And then I'm just going to flip this inside out, which will reveal those unused back loops. Look at that. And that's where we're going to add our pipe cleaner into these little weird back loops there. So we're going to take our pipe cleaner. Let's use a full pipe cleaner right now. And we'll cut it down. And we want to make space for the pipe cleaner, so we're going to use this to, we'll go from here to here. Onto this stitch. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 4, right there. Yeah, we'll go with this then. That. Okay, there's our pipe cleaner in there. Go about halfway through, and then I'm going to fold the pipe cleaner in half, and then we're going to wind this up to however long we want our mushroom to be. I think we want it to be pretty long though. Get closer. Okay. Now this is on the head. I think that's probably good. Let's unfold it real quick. We'll refold it in a second. It's going to be like this. We're going to have a curve in it like that. This part's going to go in the head itself. It's like that big. It's a pretty good mushroom. Okay, yeah, I like it. We'll wind it like 3 more times and then cut it. Okay. Where's my scissors? Here we go. All right, we're gonna cut our pipe cleaner with wire cutters because we don't want to ruin our scissors anymore because I've been doing that too much. Okay. Hopefully that wasn't too short. It feels like it might have been too short. Oh well. Okay, now is the fun part. Unwind it again. And we're going to keep that end safe, and this end we're going to use for wrapping. Go all the way up to however long we want it to be. It's looking good. I'm trying to cover up as much of this fuzz as I can. Getting pretty close to the bottom. I don't want to go all the way to the bottom. I want to have a little bit of this pipe cleaner left over. Pull it straighter. That much left over probably. I'm going to go a few times around the base here, because I want the bottom of the mushroom to be bigger than the top. So we're going to go a couple more extra times around the bottom there, and then we'll just start winding our way up. I want to try to keep this winding as close as I can together, because I think it just makes it look a little bit cleaner if it's like right, the stitches are like right next to each other, you know? It's looking pretty good though. Almost there. I mean, at this point, you can't even see. This part's going to be under the mushroom cap anyhow. Okay. Next thing I want to do, take this end, go into one side, through that center part, and then out through the other side, pretty much anywhere. That. Okay, pretty good. And then we'll just double knot these two ends and cut them close. And then we just need to add a face on this mushroom and then a butterfly.
go, double knot. Cute. There we go. Let's unfold this like this. There's our mushroom. Oh, that looks pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, you totally can. You totally can, Patricia. I mean, I don't personally mind unraveling a few rounds, but yeah, you can put the eyes kind of wherever you want. All right, for the eyes for this little thing, by the way, we need tiny eyes. We might be able to make 6mm work though. Let's see if we can make 6mm work, because otherwise I have to search for smaller eyes. I have some. I just would rather use safety eyes if we can. Is this small enough though? They might actually be small enough. We might have to cut the little bits off the back of it though. So where gives us the most amount of space? You know, maybe we should add our mouth first. We're gonna split this yarn to make it easier for us. And then needle. We'll sew in the mouth first so we can find where to put the eyes after. I think that's smart. Maybe it's not, actually. I do want the eyes high up, like that probably. High-ish up. And then we would do the smile in between there to like all the way over to here. See how this looks. That. How do we feel about these eyes? I actually don't even know if I need to lock them down. I think I could actually get away with just putting them in there. They're maybe a little big though. I don't know if I can get a smile on there. But we'll try. We'll try. We'll do our darndest. Over to here. I kind of like that he's serious too. You know what? Let's make him serious. Let's make him look like this. So he's like, why is there a butterfly on my forehead? I'm not happy about this. It is the goblin fungus. Oh my gosh, you're right, Mulberry. Wow, I love I love that you just remembered that, Mulberry. That means a lot. Like honestly, that legitimately means a lot to me. It's a silly thing to mean a lot, but it does mean something to me. So that's cool. All right, double knot that. And there's our little mouth, little flat mouth. So he's like, excuse me, sir. This is a Wendy's. Please get off my forehead. Okay. I think we can get away without adding the backs of the eyes. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Right? Little mushroom guy. Super cute. Let's bend this out. And let's add this to our forehead of our character. We're going to go right here with it. That. And let's give it more of a rounded. that. And now he's got his little mushroom, forehead mushroom. Looks nice and silly. I like it. And then let's add a little butterfly. I'm thinking yellow for the butterfly. What do you guys think? Because I think yellow would really pop with the look of the mushroom, you know? I'm open to ideas, though, if you guys don't think so. Orange. Tina said orange. I'm not sure if they meant for the butterfly or not, though. Butterfly is nice and easy, though. We just need to open the pattern. I think it's in the Bigfoot pattern. So we need to go back. By the way, again, you can get the Bigfoot pattern now by following and reserving your spot. And it comes with the mini butterfly pattern right here. So what do we choose? Red, yellow, orange. I think we're going to go with orange for Tina. Let's do that. And I have orange right here anyhow. Actually, I have one that I haven't opened also. Okay, magic loop, half double 2, single. Okay. There we go. Okay, orange yarn. Move our little guy back there. Magic loop. Chain 1, half double crochet 2, 1 and 2, then a double, then we chain 1 and slip stitch, then we chain 2 and do a double, and then 2 more half doubles. Almost done today. Hey, by the way, thanks again for watching, everybody. If you have joined this live stream, this is the first stream you've ever joined, or you're here every week. I appreciate you so much. Thanks so much for being here, guys. Again, we'll be alive next Friday. Again, we're going to finish up our puppet goblin next week. Now we're going to pull this tight. Sloop. Pull this one through the center. Sploop. And pull nice and tight here. Pull this nice and tight too. Alright, so that creates this little, kind of like the shape of the butterfly. And then now we need to just add the black around the butterfly. I'm going to go and double knot these two ends so that it never comes apart. Might be able to get away with just one knot. It's really tight. Yeah, we'll just do the one. Really tight though. There we go. Cut nice and close. Oh, we ran out of music too. And then we just, last thing we want to do is add some black yarn. And I think we're just going to use this for it. I'm going to make a slip knot. About that long. Like that. And then I just go around the outside of this. And then pull that nice and tight around the outside of it, and then we'll double knot these two ends together. Really easy. Just like that. Then I'll just knot these two tail ends here. Probably fine, just one. Looking pretty cute. Make sure that knot is on the front more. You know what, we will double knot. I'll do a second just to be safe. That's pretty good. And then we just need to cut these ends nice and close and add it to our mushroom. Maybe like that long? Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let's try to knot this too. I forgot I like to do this so that these don't get too threaded. So we'll make a little knot in the end of their antennae. so it doesn't come undone. One more over here. Almost there. That's a hard one to double knot. Oh my. There we go. Try to make it a similar distance. Pretty close. Oh, that's a little long actually. Oh well, that's the way it's gonna be. We'll stretch it out. There we go. And then we'll just cut those nice and close. And this one. All right. Let's see what we got to add this onto the head. Let's use this. I have this little itty bit amount of wire from a previous project. So we're going to use that. I'm going to just put it in between the stitches here on the back. Well, you could use anything. I would probably normally sew this onto the head, or to the mushroom, but whatever. Just bend that in. This. I don't really care if it's too loose. Here, I'll just use our pliers to kind of bend this in so it doesn't come undone. That. Like that. Okay, and then this end, we're just going to poke this straight into the top of our mushroom. I think. Like this. Maybe. Maybe a little bit big for this mushroom. It kind of looks like the mushroom's got a hair and it's a butterfly. We've got Jimbo fur in our butterfly. That's pretty cute though. I kind of like it. It's like he's got a little hair tie, but it's actually a butterfly. Hair tie butterfly. What do we think, guys? I think that's pretty cute. I like it. It's a little bit of a weirdo, but I kind of like him. All right. Here it is next to the card. Go like that. Ta-da! I love it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Don't forget to reserve your spot for our new game and pre-order our book at thegoomis.com. You should find links in the description down below and really all over the place. But just go to thegoomis.com. It's also available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and a bunch of different places. Pretty much any of your bookstores. Go ask your bookstore if it say, hey, I want to pre-order this book. Can I get it here? And they'll be like, ooh, let me look into that. That'll be cool. But again, Crochet Goomis coming out September 22nd. The Goomis in general, though, coming out in September. The backer kit starts on September 1st. Please go reserve your space so that you get an extra bonus super rare card in it. And thank you guys so much again for joining. I hope you have a absolutely wonderful weekend. I'll see you next Friday. Pasta la pizza. Oh, there he is. Happy hooking. And thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you for watching. Bye. Bye, everybody. Wait, did I forget anything? I don't think I did. I think what I forgot is, oh my gosh, stop. You hang up first. Oh my God, no, you hang up first. You're making me blursh. All right. Bye, everybody.